name's Austin. I'm a student at Texas State University, and I live in San Marcos. I think that wrestling is something that can appeal to a lot of people. They hit kind of a niche audience, but I think that it's something that a lot of people can easily get into. I can see why people might feel like there's a stigma around professional wrestling because of the way it's kind of perceived and, as a comedy almost of just being totally, absolutely ridiculous. But when you're able to kind of look more critically at what's going on with wrestling, you see that a lot goes into these productions, and it's, 365, it never sleeps, it never stops. So if you really get into the behind the scenes kind of stuff, you realize that it's just a fully functioning beast, and there's a lot of different aspects that are very intriguing about it. I think it gets a bad rep because it's just, there's all these stereotypes that are placed on it. It can be borderline racist at times, it can be very sexist, and it just appeals to machoism of men a lot of the time. So I'm very turned off by that a lot because I'm obviously not into racism and I'm not into sexism, and I'm pretty active with not wanting to be those things. So I can get pretty pissed off at the product and not want to support it at times. But you have to realize that that's just more of, even though you don't agree with what the company does, that a lot of these wrestlers and a lot of the people that put a lot of time into this aren't like that, and they don't agree with things of that nature. It's just that this is their dream, and they put a lot of time and effort into it. So it's just something that if you can respect what they're doing, then you can, I don't want to say look past it, because I would love to see it change, and I think there should be a movement to maybe make wrestling, I don't want to say PC because I feel like that's cliche and trite, but to just modernize it a little more and maybe get with the times, and it would build a much bigger audience, and the stereotypes would maybe start to crumble a little bit. You can't come in with your preconceived notions of what you're going to get yourself into. A lot of the time it will be really ridiculous, but it's kind of like watching like a bad horror movie or something like that at times, where it's like, it's just so ridiculous and over the top that you still find yourself enthralled with it and you can laugh at it. And like I was saying earlier, if you can start to look at it a lot more critically and not just take it at face value of these are, weird roided up guys that are, shoving each other around, if you can kind of start looking into it as an art form and see how much time and dedication that people have to put into it. Because it's almost like any other like art form that's probably really strange for people to hear wrestling as an art, because it's generally viewed as being very low grade. But if you look at it and say these people are putting in a lot of time, a lot of dedication, a lot of what they do is pretty much it's almost like a performance, like a dance performance or a play or things of that sort, where it's the protagonist, antagonist, there's a lot of storylines, things that have to be overcome. And then if you just look at the in-ring work of wrestling, it's a lot of very, very intricate things, and it's very dangerous. And it's, you have two people where they're putting their bodies on the line and their health and their future just because it's something they really, really enjoy doing. And there has to be a very, very big sense of trust between the peers in the wrestling industry, because you have so much riding on another person and making sure that you're safe. So it's just a lot of things where if you look at it, it's very, very intriguing.